All right, we're back here at another Sallisaw Black Diamond baseball game. They come in 23 and 0. 0 and 1's the count to number 6, Haston Conley for the Cougars. He's now at 0 and 2. Fouled the second pitch off. Inside, ball 1. The count goes to 1 and 2. Tonight on the mound for the Black Diamonds, we have Keaton Brandt starting off this game. Swing down to third, 3-1. Out number 1 goes in the books. Up next for the Cougars, number 2, Owen Payne. Sallisaw is playing North Rock Creek tonight. It is a non-district game. Looking for their 24th win of the season. There's the pitch. Strike 1, right down the middle. Fastball. Lines up for the second pitch. Delivers. Swing and a miss. For strike number 2, count goes to 0-2 to Owen Payne. Pitch. Outside. Ball 1. The count now goes to 0-1 to number 2, Owen Payne. There's the pitch. High and a little bit outside. It's 2-2 to number 2, Owen Payne with 1 out. There's the windup, the delivery. Tipped foul. The count will remain 2-2. Ball 3, count goes full. To Keaton Brandt, to Owen Payne. And he walks him, gets ball 4. Up next for the Cougars, number 20, Hunter Barton. They've got 1 man on. It's 1 out. Number 20 is at the plate. Keaton Brandt on the mound. Struck 1 out, walked 1. There's the pitch, right down the middle for strike 1. Here's the windup, the delivery, outside. Keaton Brandt has had all his balls have been outside. I think he's thrown 1 inside, but the rest of the pitches have been outside, called balls. Here's the delivery, right down the middle for strike 2 on Hunter Bertram. 1-2 is the count, 1 out, 1 on for the Cougars. Throw over to first. He's safe. There's the delivery. Hit right back to Brandt. Brandt throws to second. Second to first. High throw. He's safe at first. But the Black Diamonds get outs number 2 for the inning. Up next for the Cougars, number 35, Jace Plum. There's the delivery. Now that we got a lefty, that one was inside. Brandt has been throwing outside on the lefty's batter box rather. There's the pitch. Low. Called for ball 2. 2-0. To Hunter Bertram from Keaton Brandt. 1 on, 2 outs. Top of the first inning we go here. Throw to first. Safe. Here's the pitch. Low, called for ball 3. Three and ho to Hunter Bertram from Keaton Brandt. Here comes the delivery. Right down the middle for strike 1. Keaton Brandt has fallen behind in the count. Hunter Bertram ahead. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Count is full. Still to Hunter Bertram's advantage. But Keaton Brandt has thrown absolutely 2 heaters right down the middle. One frozen, one was a swing and a miss. Throw to first. Runners back in time. Sorry, I've been saying Hunter Bertram at the plate. It's Jace Plum at the plate, number 35. So for Jace Plum, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Outside. Brandt walks his second of the inning with 2 outs. Up next for the Cougars, number 13, Drake Clemens. Comes the first pitch to Drake. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Keaton Brandt goes ahead in the count, 0-1. To Jace Plum. Pitch number 2 is away. Right in there for strike 2. A swing and a miss and a looker. For Landon Roser, who's at the plate. There's the pitch. Called strike 3, and the inning is over. Into the top of the first, 0-0. This inning brought to you by the Black Diamond Cafeteria staff, who contends that the best thing you can put into a pie is your teeth. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second. Pitch one to Luke is a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Well, Luke gets ahead on the count. Called for ball two. Here's the pitch, the delivery. Swung on, foul ball down the first base line. The count goes to 2-1. Hit. Shortstop gets it. Luke is going. Safe at first base is Luke Pack. Number 17 and second baseman, Easton Wolf. They're at the bottom of the first. Sallisaw has one on, no outs. Wild pitch high, called for ball one. Ball two is in there for Easton Wolf. Down the third base line is called fair, and we have another base runner. Number two and right fielder, Ryland Eagle. So we got two on, no outs. And the Black Diamonds are got a good start to this bottom of the first inning. Inside, ball one. Man on first, man on second. Pitcher chases Luke Pack back to second base. Called foul ball. Be 0-2 to the right fielder, Ryland Eagle. Go to first. Is safe. Got Easton Wolf out at second. Number 11, Dagon Grizzle. Now the home run leader, the first baseman, number 11, Dagon Grizzle, steps up to the plate. One knows the count. First pitch called ball. Man at first, man at third, one out. There's the pitch. Outside for ball two. Throw to first, safe in time. Be interesting to see if the pitcher for the Cougars is interested in throwing to Grizzle so far, 3 balls in a row. And he walked him. So the bases are now loaded. Number 12, Logan Bethel. There's a hit deep center field. It's caught, but we're going to get at least one in. Runners are going to hold at first and second. But the Black Diamonds are going to get a score. Number 5, Case. Big Bad Case Adams is now at the plate. Runner on first, second, 2 outs. There's a hit to center field, shallow center. Caught for out number 3. End of the first inning. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 1, Cougars 0. We will be right back for the top of the second. Black Diamonds scored 1, had several hits in that last inning, but only were able to bring 1 home. Leading off for the Cougars, number 13, Drake Clemens. Foul ball, back behind the plate. Strike 1 is in the books. Keaton Brandt pitch. It's a blooper to Keaton. Throw to Dagan. Out number 1. In the top of the second. Up next for the Cougars, number 8, Maverick Wingo. Keaton Brandt wanted a new ball. He was obliged. They get ready for the first pitch of the second batter of the top of the second. In there for strike one. Count goes to 0-1. Second pitch. Outside for ball one. Count goes to 1-1. Keaton Brandt to Maverick Wingo here. There's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike two. So Keaton goes ahead in the count. We have Maverick as the second batter of the top of the second inning. There's the pitch. That is a blooper down the first base line. Stays fair. Dagan touches the bag and out number two. Up next for the Cougars, number 23, Kenna Penningsoro. So we got number 23 up for the Cougars against Keaton Brandt, third batter of the inning. There's the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one. The Cougars had a couple of men on base the top of the first inning, couldn't bring anybody home. There's the pitch. Fly ball down first base line. 0-2 goes the count. The Black Diamonds had several hits, ended up leaving 3 on, brought 1 home for their first score of the game in the bottom of the first. There's the pitch, high and inside for ball 1. Count goes to 1-2 for Keaton Brandt. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Black Diamonds are out of the inning. We go to a brief commercial break. Bottom of the second, Sallisaw Black Diamonds 1, North Rock Creek Cougars 0. All right, we're back for the bottom of the second inning. Number 15 and catcher Landon Clausen leading off for the Black Diamonds. There's the pitch. Ball 1 to Clausen. From Conley. Conley to Clausen. Swing. Third baseman catches it. Throws the first in time. Out number 1. Number 9 and designated hitter Carson Sharp. Now we come to the Black Diamonds designated hitter with nobody on. 1 out in the inning. We're in the bottom of the second. We've got 2 balls and 0 strikes on Carson, designated hitter. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. He tipped it. That'll be strike number one for Carson. There's the pitch. Called strike. 2-2, 1 out. Carson Sharp at the plate. Number 16 and pitcher Keaton Brant. All right, now we got Keaton Brant at the plate. Curveball left high. Ball one. We're in the bottom of the second. We've got 2 outs, 1-0 to Keaton Brant, 2-0. And the Black Diamonds are ahead of North Little Rock 1-0. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-0 as of right now in this inning. The Black Diamonds have not had anyone on base. And he walks him. And now the Black Diamonds are going to move to the top of their order. Number 7 and shortstop Luke Black. Oh, we got a pinch runner in over there. Going to first. That's going to be number 10, Rowdy Nickel, in as the pinch runner. Now we're all set. 1 on, 2 outs. Luke Pack at the plate, top of the Black Diamonds order. High and inside for ball 1. Second pitch is delivered, fouled back for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Luke. The Cougars through 2 innings have not yet made it through their order. And the throw to first. Pitches the runner off. They're trying to run him down. Tagged him out. Third out of the inning. Now we go to the top of the third. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 1, North Rock Creek 0. for the North Rock Creek Cougars. As I stated before the break, the Cougars have not yet made it through their lineup yet, and they are the top of the third. The Black Diamonds in the bottom of the second rounded the top of their order. First pitch called ball one, and it got to Luke Pack. And the pinch runner, Brody Nickel, who got thrown out, got caught between first and second and thrown out for the third out of the inning. Ball two, low and inside. There's the pitch. Swing and fouled for strike one. Here's the pitch. He hits him, so he will be taking his base. Number 5, Lane Scullhorn. So Keaton Brandt hits Jackson Loftus for North Rock Creek, putting him on first. Back around to the top of the order is Haston Connolly. For the Cougars at the plate, number 6, Haston Connolly. All right, we're ready to roll. The Jackson Loftus over there on first had to walk it off, rubbed some dirt on it. Now he's good to go. First pitch. Swinging a hit. It's going to run into the gap between center and left field. Runners advance to second and third. And now all of a sudden, North Rock Creek is in scoring and go-ahead position. Number 2, Owen Payne. Zero out, 2 men on for North Rock Creek at second and first. Haston Conley got up and hit a double after Jackson Loftus got hit with a pitch. So the runners advance to second and third. There's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike one. There's the windup. There's the delivery. Fouled down the first base line out of play. 0-2 the count for Owen Payne. And the third pitch is on its way. Inside for ball one. Count goes to 1-2. There's the delivery. Low and outside for ball two. The count is 2-2. We're all even. See if Keaton Brandt can't put this one away without falling behind to Owen Payne. Just outside the plate, I guess, called ball three. So it's full count now, Keaton Brandt. Keaton takes a little bit of time. Owen Payne takes a little bit of time. Now they're set at the plate, set at the mound. Here's the delivery. Swing. Keaton Brandt went under his glove. It's going to bring 2 home for North Rock Creek. And in the top of the third, they pull ahead 2-1. We've got a lightning strike alarm going off here at the ballpark. They are clearing the field. I believe that means that we'll have at least a 30-minute delay. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lightning break. It'll be about 30 minutes, and we will return.
Hey, my name's Luke Pack. I'm number 7, and I've been on Sallisaw baseball for 4 years.
Luke, what is your favorite memory in baseball?
Probably last year when we beat Cushing to go to the state tournament and the dog pile. It's a good memory.
What's your proudest accomplishment?
Probably my sophomore year, stealing 55 bags, being leading the state for a long time. That's probably my best accomplishment.
Funniest team moment?
Funniest team moment. I don't really think there's one I can pick from. I think just the whole environment.
All right, well, back from commercial break we go. We're getting ready to go back to the top of the third inning. We've got the North Rock Creek Cougars is 2, Sallisaw Black Diamonds 1, and they have no outs and I believe one man on. We're going to have a pitching change on Sallisaw's side. Now pitching for the Black Diamonds, number 17, Easton Wolf. So we had Keaton Brandt that went 2.5 innings. And in the top of the third, we have Easton Wolf taking over. And for the Cougars, we are at around the top of their order. Batter number 3, number 20, Hunter Bertram is going to be coming up. Well, lightning delay, and it's supposed to start raining here in about 20, 30 minutes or so. So we'll see how this game goes. Not a conference game, so I'm not exactly sure how Coach Warchower will push to have the game finished if it gets a little uncontrollable with the weather. I'll have to go ahead and take this time to do the lineups. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. For Sallisaw Black Diamonds, the top of the order, number 7, Luke Pack is shortstop. Number 17, Easton Wolf is at second base. Number 2, Ryland Eagle, right field. Number 11, Dagon Grizzle, first base. Number 5, Case Adams on third. Number 12, Logan Bethel at left. Number 15, Landon Clausen at catcher. And the pitcher starting off the game was Keaton Brandt. And we now have switched over to Easton Wolf. Leading off this inning, number 20, Hunter Bertram. And here we go. Let's see how far we can get. See if we can get through this without another lightning break. All right, one man on, no outs. Top of the third, scores 2-1. There's the pitch. Outside ball 1. It is Easton Wolf to Hunter Bertram. There's a fly ball to right field. And out number 1 by Ryland Eagle in right field. And number 35, Jace Plum. Now lefty steps up. Throw to first. Hunter Bertram back in time. He's called safe. 1 out, 1 man on. Top of the third. Here comes the windup. There's the delivery. Runner is going. Throw to second is high. And he gets to second. Sorry, that's not Hunter Bertram at first. Hunter Bertram popped flied out. I believe that's number 2, Owen Payne with the stolen base. Here comes the windup. There's the pitch. Delivery outside. Called a ball. Landon Clausen's going to have a conversation a little bit with Easton Wolf. Make a plan here to try to get out number 2 for the inning. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Catcher lined up over the plate. There's the pitch. Inside. Landon and Easton have another conference. 2 quick conferences after 2 balls thrown. Count is 2-1. 1 out. There's the windup. There's the delivery. Swing and hit down first base line. Dagan Grizzle taps the bag. It'll be 2 outs. Runner advances to third. Number 12, Landon Rosser. So the Black Diamonds have 2 outs. One man has been on in the inning. He now advances to scoring position on third base. And Easton a chance here to put the inning away with no more damage being done. There's the windup, the delivery, low and inside for ball 1. Pitch number 2, fouled back. Count goes to 1-1. Runner leading off on third. There's the windup, the delivery, swing and a miss for strike 2. Easton Wolf got it by him. Easton waving off the first pitch called by Landon. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Easton Wolf gets out of the inning with no more damage done. We go to the bottom of the third. Cougars 2, Black Diamonds 1. Will return shortly for the bottom of the third inning. This inning is going to be number 7, the shortstop, Luke Pack. Number 7 and shortstop, Luke Pack. All right, here we go. The bottom of the third. Black Diamonds trailing by 1. Cougars 2, Black Diamonds 1. Here comes the first pitch. High, ball 1. Pitch number 2. Swung on, down the first base line. It was fair, right to the first baseman. Out number 1. Number 17, and second baseman, Easton Wolf. Pitch, first pitch, right down the middle for strike 1. Second pitch, hit right to the shortstop for out. number 2. Number 2, Ryland Eagle. All right, the third batter and a right fielder, number 2, Ryland Eagle, now at the plate. This pitcher has a pretty fast pace, doesn't really wait a whole lot in between pitches. Trying to keep a fast pace, probably trying to throw the Black Diamonds off, as their batting has been pretty exceptional this season. There's this pitch, popped up, catcher going after it. Third baseman, catcher, falls to the ground for strike 1 for Ryland Eagle. Batter's ready, pitcher's ready. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 2. The count is 2-1 to number 2, Ryland Eagle. 2 outs in this inning. Pitch. He held it back. The count goes to 3-1 to Ryland. Pitcher waved off a couple of pitches. There's the pitch, wide and outside. Walks him. Number 11, Dagon. Now, Black Diamond's home run leader steps up to the plate with 1 man on. Makes Dagon Grizzle the go-ahead run. The wind is blowing towards out center field, a little bit right center. There's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. The last time Dagon was up, pitcher walked him. See if the Black Diamonds can't get a rally going here. There it is. Way, way outside. Throw to first. Not in time. Tried to catch the runner. Ryland Eagle tried to catch him off guard. Didn't succeed. Throw to first again. They might try to get the third out without pitching to Dagon. Here it comes. That's a swing. Pop fly to center field, and that's the third out of the inning. When we come back, we will be at the top of the 4th. Hunter Bertram, number 35, Jace Plum, number 12, Landon Rosser, number 13, Drake Clemens, number 8, Maverick Wingo, number 23, Kona Hanningsoro, I think that's how you say that, 21, Jackson Loftus, and 5, Lane Scalliorn. Leading off for the Cougars, number 13, Drake Clemens. All right, so we're at the top of the 4th. First batter up for the Cougars. Foul tipped. Strike one. It's the fourth batter that Easton Wolf has faced. Came in at the top of the third after the Cougars had scored 2 points and we had a lightning delay. Here's the delivery. Low and inside for ball one. Count moves to 1-1. Delivery. Strike two. Froze him. As Lovejoy would say, no thank you, just looking. Here's the delivery. Outside for ball two. And the count goes 2-2. Pitch. Swing right to the pitcher. Throw to Dagan. Easton to Dagan. Out number one for the inning. Number 8, Maverick Wingo. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss for strike one. So far, Easton Wolf has gotten every batter he's faced out, one way or another. And the count to Maverick Wingo is 1-1. There's the pitch. Swing, pop fly, down the third base line. Going out there. Missed it, and it is fair. And Maverick Wingo gets a double. Number 23, Kona Panning's Sorrow. All right, so a little blunder there. Error by the Black Diamonds. You had Logan Bethel came over for it. You had Case Adams chasing after it. Nobody came down with it. So the Cougars now have a man on second. The first pitch is in. Strike one, right down the middle. There's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off down the first base line. Strike two. That last hit, you had Luke Pack, you had Case Adams, and you had Logan Bethel all chasing after it. Nobody called anybody off, and it fell in the middle of them. Fair. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. And we now have 2 outs in the inning. Number 21, Jackson Loftus. The Cougars are now at the bottom of their order. Sitting at the top of the fourth, man on second, 2 outs. First pitch. Got him on the outside corner for strike one. Here's the windup. There's the delivery. Swing and a miss. That one was kind of high. Got him chasing. That was high and inside. But the swing went around. Strike two, 2 outs. Easton Wolf can put an end to this inning. There's the delivery. Swing fouled off behind home plate. The count stays at 0-2. There's the windup, the delivery, outside for the first ball. Count goes to 1-2. Easton taking his time in between pitches. Now he's wound up. There's the delivery, swing and a miss, strike 3. Oh, nope, he fouled it. Came out of the catcher's glove, so that's going to still leave the count 1-2. Guess the umpire wanted to take a little bit of time, so he walked the ball out to Easton. First time in all my announcing I've ever seen that. Like I said, maybe the umpire just needed a little bit of breather. All right, here we go again. Counts 1-2, 2 outs to Jackson Loftus. Easton's pitch. Hit to shortstop, throw to first, out number 3. We will be right back for the bottom of the 4th. And Bethel. So leading off this inning, we have Logan Bethel, left fielder. First pitch, ball 1. Black Diamond's not able to get anything going in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a pitch. There's a hit to third baseman. Went through his glove. Logan Bethel is going to be on base. Single for Logan Bethel. Number 15, Landon Clausen. Number 5, Case Adams. Saw the 5 and for some unknown reason put a number 1 in front of it. Inside for strike 1 for Case Adams. Not Logan Bethel. I'm sorry, not Landon Clausen. There's a windup pitch. Pop fly. Looks like it's in the gap. That could be trouble. Going back. Oh, hits off the wall. Logan's chucking for home. Chucking for home. Safe. The Black Diamonds tie it. Number 15, and catcher Landon Clausen. Now Landon's at the plate. Runner at second. All tied up, 2-2. Bottom of the fourth. Case Adams with that double to bring Logan Bethel home. First pitch was strike one. 0-1 to Landon. There's the delivery, way outside for ball one. Count goes to 1-1. There's the windup, delivery, low and outside for ball two. Landon gets ahead in the count. There's the delivery. High for ball three. Landon stays ahead in the count. It's 3-1, 0 outs. The Black Diamonds have scored one to tie it up. We're all twos. There's the pitch. Swing down third base. It's going to get all the way to the wall. That's going to score Case Adams. Landon Clausen gets a double. Number 9 and designated hitter, Carson Sharp. They're going to pinch run Landon Clausen. And they're going to have a mound visit for the Cougars. In for Landon is going to be number 24, Morgan Duke. And the Black Diamonds have pulled ahead. Score is now 3-2. Black Diamonds ahead, 0 outs. And it looks like they're going to change pitchers for the Cougars. Have yet to see who it's going to be. Coming up for the Black Diamonds, we have the designated hitter with what is going to be Morgan Duke on second base. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It is Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3, Cougars 2. And in Sallisaw Black Diamond fashion, they have put on the pressure to the Cougars. They fell behind in the top of the third, 2-1. The Black Diamonds scored in the first inning, 1 run. And now they're putting on the pressure, so the Cougars will change pitchers. And as soon as I can see his number, I'll tell you who it is. They're going with number 22, Alexander Mong. Now on the mound for the Cougars, number 22, Alexander Mong. So as he gets warmed up, we will take a quick break. We will be right back. We are in the bottom of the fourth. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3, Cougars 2. Black Diamonds have no outs here. Luke Pack is up next to bring them back around to the top of the order. So if Carson Sharp can get on, it's high and inside ball one. The Black Diamonds will be sitting pretty, having scored 2 runs this inning already with 0 outs. The count to Carson is 1-2. There's the pitch. Way outside, ball 2. Two and two to Carson. Duke leading off on second. Here comes the delivery. Right down the middle, swing and a miss for out number 1 of the Black Diamonds. Number 4, Johnny Velasquez. I lied. I said the Black Diamonds would be at the top of the order, but they're now at the bottom of the order with Johnny Velasquez at the plate. There's pitch. Way outside for ball 1. One and 0. Here comes the second pitch. Delivery. Tipped and fouled off behind home plate for strike 1. Pitch number 3. Caught the outside corner. Called strike. 1-2 to Johnny. There's a delivery inside for ball 2. Count goes 2-2. There's a delivery. Hit directly to the first baseman. He's going to get it over to second baseman. Caught him off guard. Double play. They get out of the inning. Cougars get out of the inning, but not before the Sallisaw Black Diamonds can score the lead and take the lead. All right, we're back. First pitch to Haston Conley, number 6. The Cougars are back to the top of the order, their top of their order. First pitch was ball 1, or strike 1. Second pitch hit to center field. Caught, and that is out number 1. Number 2, Owen Payne. Landon Clausen out there in center field that caught that. So the second batter of the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. Caught the outside corner for strike 1. Count now goes to 1-1, all even. There's the windup and the delivery. A little bit low. Called ball 2. Count goes 2-1. I'm assuming that was low. It's the only thing I could see from this vantage point. Well, that one was outside. Easton Wolf has fallen behind after the first pitch being a strike. He has thrown 3 straight balls. Here's the pitch. Inside, and he walks him. Number 20, Hunter Bertram. So the third batter for the Cougars is up. Easton got a strikeout, walked their second batter, so they have 1 on, 1 out. There's the pitch. Runner goes. Thrower throws. Overthrows the second baseman. Center fielder's out there to back him up. Runner does not advance past second. So the man that Easton walked is on second base now. There's 1 out to the Cougars. I think Easton thinks he could have thrown the guy out at second, but no one was on the base. So now the catcher has a Easton and Landon have a little meeting of the minds. Making a plan to get out number 2 here. The Cougar coach has come out to talk to the umpire about something. Don't know what he was going for there, but nothing happened. Count is 0-0, 1 out. Easton has yet to throw a pitch to this batter. Or he threw 1. I think it was a strike. Then the catcher threw and missed the guy at second. There's the pitch. Swing. Called foul. That was a really close call. It's 0-2. It was a strike and then a foul down the third baseline. There's the pitch. For ball 1. The count goes to 1-2. There's the windup. There's the pitch. Hit right back to the pitcher. Throw to third. Got him for out number 2. Easton made a judgment call there and had a lead on the runner going to third, so he threw out the lead runner. Number 35, Jace Plum, lets the runner go to second, but takes out the lead runner. So now their go-ahead run is all the way on first. It's a great call by Easton to take the lead runner out. Sometimes you don't have that play at third. Throw to first. Runner's safe. We got 2 outs. Throw to first. Not in time. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Maybe with Easton throwing over there to first base, the batter got a little cold. That was right down the middle. Here comes the second pitch. Swing, popped up down the third base line. Missed it, and it is fair. The ball is still on the ground. It is a live ball. That will score 1 for the Cougars. And the runner advances to second for a double. Number 12, Landon Rosser. That is his second error with that group of Black Diamonds out there on the left side down the third base line. And both of them were fair balls, allowing the Cougars to advance. He's set. There's the pitch. Pop fly behind home plate. First strike 1. We are now all tied up in the top of the 5th. 3-3. Easton set. There's the delivery. That's a hit in the gap between right and center field. Goes all the way to the wall. Cougars score another one. And Landon Rosser gets a triple. Number 13, Drake Clemens. The Cougars put a pitch runner in over at third, number 28, Cooper Stanley. If there is a wild pitch, they will try to bring him home. Score is now 4-3. There's the pitch. Low for ball 1. Delivery right back to Easton. Throw it over to Daigle for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3, the Cougars 4. We'll be right back. All right, we are back here. Leading off for the Black Diamonds. Number 7, Luke Pack. First pitch is a ball. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Sallisaw Black Diamonds have fallen. They are 3, and the Cougars are 4. Second pitch. Called a strike on the outside. Count goes to 1-1. There's a hit over the shortstop in the gap for Luke Pack. Number 17, Easton Wolf. Easton getting a signal for Coach Warchower. Now steps into the box. Black Diamonds really need to get a rally going here. There's a bunt. It's a foul bunt. So that'll be strike number 1. They have no outs, 1 man on. They really need to get some base hits going here so that they can get ahead of this Cougar team. They trailed in the 3rd, took the lead in the bottom of the 4th, and now they trail in the bottom of the 5th. They fell behind again in the top of the 5th. Throw to first. Not in time. So far, 1 pitch to Easton. There's the pitch. Lays down a bunt. Right in front of home plate. Catcher picks it up, throws to first in time. But it advances Luke Pack to second base. The number 2, Ryland Eagle. So we got Ryland Eagle up. We've got Luke Pack at second. And on deck, we've got Dagan Grizzle, the home run leader. Black Diamonds need to get some base hits here so we can get Ryland on base. First pitch, called a strike. 0-1 goes the count. Pitcher steps off. Didn't like what he saw. Agrees on the pitch with the catcher. Starts to throw to second. I don't know who was going to throw to out there. There was nobody on. Shortstop signals to the pitcher. There's a swing, foul down first base line. 0-2 goes the count to Ryland Eagle. Be a foul ball. The count will remain 0-2. There's the delivery. The runner goes. It's a hit to center field. Caught it. Luke Pack's going to have to go all the way back to second. Number 11, Dagan Grizzle. All right, Dagan steps up, the home run leader for the Sallisaw Black Diamond team. with Luke Pack at second base. We've got to have either a base hit or a home run here to pull ahead. Attempted throw to second. Not sure how the pitcher thinks he's going to get Luke Pack when Luke Pack is in front of his shortstop every single time. There's the delivery. Outside for ball one. The Cougars pitchers have not been really throwing to Dagan very well. He's had a walk and I think a single. There's the pitch. Outside for ball two. Dagan laid off of it. And here comes the 2-0. There's a runner goes. Doesn't throw. The tying run for the Black Diamonds is on third with Luke Pack. It's 3-0 is the count to Dagan. So he's either going to walk him here or go after him. He walks it. Oh. Woo! Strike one. Called. Count goes to 3-1 on Dagan. There's the windup, the delivery. High and outside for ball four. Number 2, Ryland. And number 12, Logan Bethel. Pulled the old switcheroo on the batting order there. We've got Logan Bethel up after Dagan Grizzle. Strike one. Here comes pitch number 2. Delivery. Hit down third base line. It's going to be foul. Oh, if that had only been fair. 0-2. The count to Logan. On deck, we have number 5, Case Adams. There's the pitch. Swung and pop fly out to right field. Caught it for out number 3. We're going to go to the bottom of the top of the 6th. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3, Cougars 4. All right, we are now at the top of the sixth. Leading off for the Cougars, number 8, Maverick Wingo. Last time up, Maverick got a double. Here comes the first pitch. Swung on, center field, and it's going to drop. Hit the wall. He's going to get another double. Number 23, Kona Penningsoro. So the Cougars have a hit in the top of the sixth. And now is the second batter at the top of the sixth inning. Awaiting the first pitch at the plate. There comes the windup. There's the delivery. Attempted bunt fouled off behind home plate. Strike one. Here's the pitch. Got the corner of the plate for strike two, 0-2. Easton Wolf goes ahead in the count. There's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike three for the first out of the inning. Batter number 2 for the Cougars. Number 22, Alexander Mong. Alexander has a meeting with the first base coach. Alexander took over pitching for the Cougars last inning. He's now at the plate. Batter's in the box. Pitcher's ready. Look to second. Here's the pitch. Attempted foul behind home plate. Strike one. Here comes pitch number 2. Inside, behind the catcher. Cougars runner advances to third. They now have a scoring run at third with one out. 1-1 to pitcher Alexander Mong. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1. Here's delivery. Inside for ball 3. There's the pitch. Low for ball 4. Cougars now have a man at first and a man at third. Number 6, Haston Conley. The Cougars are now at the top of their order. Landon Clausen giving a call to the Black Diamonds. Cougars have a man at first, a man at third. First pitch. Went to lay down a bunt, pulled back for ball 1. Here comes the windup, throw to first. Runner is safe. There's the second pitch. Runner advances to second. It was ball 2, so count goes to 2-0. Easton falls behind in the count. Here comes pitch number 3. It is a pop fly ball to right field. Caught for an out. It's going to bring in 1 for the Cougars. And runner advances to third. So we now have 2 outs, but not before the Cougars are able to score a run. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Should be number 2, Owen Payne at the plate. Here comes pitch number 2. Inside for ball 1. There's the pitch. Inside again. Count now goes to 2-1. And Easton Wolf falls behind in the count again. There's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. So we've got 2-2 to number 2 with 2 outs. We got a double Chuck Woolery, 2-2 and 2-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled it off. The count remains 2-2. Here comes the 6th pitch. He hits him. So now there's going to be, again, a runner at first and a runner at third for the Cougars. Number 20, Hunter Bertram. And Coach Wartshire is going to have a mound visit with Easton, see if we can get out of this inning without any more damage. So the way this game has gone, first inning, the bottom of the first, Black Diamonds scored 1. No score in the second. Top of the third, the Cougars scored 2. The Diamonds did not score in that inning. Then we moved to the fourth, the bottom of the fourth. The Diamonds scored 2. Cougars scored none. Bottom of the fifth, or top of the fifth, rather, Cougars scored 2. Black Diamonds did not score in that inning. Now we are at the top of the sixth. And the Cougars have scored 1 and have 1 on third with 2 outs. Score is Black Diamonds 3, Cougars 5. We are awaiting the results of the mound visit from Coach Wartshire. Looks like he's going to remain with Easton. Coach Wartshire showing some confidence there in Easton that he can get him out of the inning. Already 2 outs. Just need 1 more. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Going to be 0-1 to Hunter Bertram. Runners at first and third for the Cougars. 0-1, 2 outs. Top of the sixth. Looking over at first. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Batter swings. Center field. Over the wall. Runners are held up. And the Cougars score another run. Coach Schwarzschild is going to make another mound visit. We'll be back momentarily. Number 35, Jace Plum. Black Diamonds have changed pitchers now on the mound for the Black Diamonds. Number 9, Carson Sharp. See if Carson can't get the Black Diamonds out of this inning and out of this jam that they're in. They're behind by 3. Here's the pitch. Inside for strike 1. The Black Diamonds have not been behind very much this season. They've outscored their opponents by a lot. Here's the windup, the delivery. Swing right back to Carson. Throw to first. He's out. And Carson Sharp gets us out of the inning. We'll be right back for the bottom of the sixth. All right, here we go. We are at the bottom of the sixth, leading off for this inning for the Black Diamonds, number 5, Case Adams. The Black Diamonds need to get their bats hot this inning. They are perfectly capable of doing so. First pitch is ball 1. There's the pitch inside for ball 2. So the Cougars pitcher starts off this inning with a 2-0 count to Case Adams. There's the first strike thrown. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3. Case is ahead in the count. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 4. We've got a man on base. Number 15, Landon Clausen. So 0 outs. Landon Clausen up. We've got a man on first. First pitch, I believe, was a ball. There's the second pitch. Strike. There's the next pitch. Outside. Whoo. My bad. That was a strike. Snuck in there across the plate. There's a delivery. Hit to the second baseman. Second baseman throws to first. They get the double play. Number 9, Carson Sharp. So now the Black Diamonds have 2 outs. Landon Clausen hit into a double play. Now at the plate, number 9, their designated hitter, Carson Sharp. First pitch swung on, strike 1. Second pitch. Said he went around for strike 2. Oh, and 2 to Carson Sharp. There's the pitch. High fly ball down the first base line, out of play. And count remains 0 and 2. Outside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. We will be right back. We're going to the top of the 7th. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3, the Cougars 6. There's the windup. There's the delivery. Bounced over the wall. That'll be a double for Landon Rosser. Number 13, Drake Clemens. Black Diamonds, for the first time this season, are trailing in the 7th inning. First time they found themselves in this position all season long. See if they can overcome it and get out of it. Here's the delivery. Ball one, a called ball. Second pitch is away, low for ball two. Cougars have a man on second. 2-0 to Drake Clemens. Carson Sharp with the delivery. Outside for ball three. Carson Sharp falling way behind in the count. That one in there for strike one. So the count is 2-1. In there for strike two. The count is full. Sharp able to fight his way back. Inside for ball four. Number 8, Maverick Wingo. So right now, the Cougars have no outs. Man on first, a man on third. Parsons steps off. First pitch for a strike. The count goes to 0-1. Tried to get it in there for a strike, but it hung out high for ball one. Another pitch in there for a strike. Sharp goes ahead in the count, 1-2. Pitch is inside for ball two. Count goes to 2-2. This North Rock Creek High School Cougars that Sallisaw is playing is 4A in baseball, but they are not This is not a district game for Sallisaw. Sallisaw trying to hang on to their perfect record. They are thus far undefeated. The count's 2-2. Sharp with the delivery. Swing on. It's going to be a base hit in the right field. The Cougars are going to have bases loaded, no outs. Number 23, Kona Penningsorrow. Right now, Carson Sharp is faced with needing to get some strikeouts and get out of this inning as bases have become loaded and Black Diamonds are behind, trailed by 3. Here's the first pitch. Wild pitch for ball 1. Throw to home. Carson got the tag, but dropped the ball, so Cougars score 1. Advance runners to second and third. The throw there to Carson was in time, but once he touched the runner, he was ahead of the runner. He dropped the ball. Very unusual night for the Black Diamonds. Count is 1-0. There's a pitch. Outside for ball 2. The Black Diamonds have made several errors, and North Creek has been able to take advantage of it. Comes the third pitch. Right down the middle, swung on, popped out to center field, caught for the out. North Rock Creek will score another one. And that's the first out of the inning, as the Cougars have scored 2. Number 22, Alexander Mong. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Black Diamonds have had 2 errors out in left field, and then 1 at home plate for the throw out that should have been an out. 2 pop flies to left field that were dropped and fell to the ground. Carson Sharp pitches high and outside, and Warchower is going to pay him a mound visit. And that's going to be it for Carson Sharp. We will be right back as the new pitcher comes in and warms up. We are back. We are still in the top of the second. There's one out. Black Diamonds now trail by 5. Scores Cougars 8, Black Diamonds 3. Not a situation the Black Diamonds have found themselves in at all this season. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Strike. Sorry, the count is 3-1. That last ball was ball 3. That's going to fall into left field. The Cougars score another one. Makes the score 9-3. Number 6, Haston Conley. And the Cougars are back in the top of their order. There's the pitch. Curved inside for strike 1. That was a pretty pitch. Started way outside, came right back across the plate. Looking over at first. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Not going to get the runner. Luke Warner comes in. He has thrown 3 strikes and 1 ball thus far. And he has this batter at 0-2. He's ahead. Here's the pitch. Left outside a little bit for ball 1. Here comes the delivery inside for ball 2. So the count's 2-2. There is 1 out in the inning. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, pop fly to center field. And he lost it somewhere in the lights. That is another ball that has fallen in the outfield. That has allowed runners to advance for the Cougars. Number 2, Owen Payne. Very uncharacteristic night for the Black Diamonds. They've had 3 balls that should have been caught for out land in the outfield. And then the Cougars have taken advantage. They now lead 9-3. Here comes the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, but low. Ball 2. Here's the delivery. Down the middle, pop behind home plate for strike 1. Here's delivery. Foul down the third base line for strike two. Count moves to 2-2 for Warner. There's the windup. Delivery. Pop foul behind home plate. Count remains 2-2 for Warner. He needs to smoke one past Owen Payne and get the second out of the inning. Pitch. Outside. The count goes full. Here's the delivery. Swung on. Third base missed it. Shortstop missed it. Went in the gap. Scored one. Held one up. The Cougars now have runners at first and third. Number 20, Hunter Bertram. And for those of you that are seeing the score, it's not so much that the Cougars played really well. It's that the Sallisaw Black Diamonds have made some mistakes, and the Cougars have been able to take advantage of it. And the Black Diamonds are going to have to get their bats hot in the bottom of the seventh if they want to turn this one around. Here's the first pitch. It's called a strike. Landon Clausen overthrows or throws it low for the second baseman. It goes out in the outfield, and the Cougars score one and advance the runner to third. The Cougars have scored 5 runs in this inning, and there is one out. Ball one. Count goes to 1-1. For Warner, there's the delivery. It's a strike for the count to go to 1-2. Here's the pitch. Low and wild pitch. Landon couldn't get back to the plate in time. Cougars score another run. Count is 1-2. Warner on the mound. Scores 12-3. Diamonds trailing by 9. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Foul ball. Count remains 1-2. There's the pitch. Hit the third. Throw to first. Out number 2 of the inning. Sallisaw Black Diamonds badly needed that. Number 35, Jakes Plum. Warner on the mound, Plum in the box. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. There's the delivery. Low and inside for ball 1. Second pitch. Way inside, ball 2. Up fouled. Strike 1. Count goes to 2-1 for Warner. Landon asking for another baseball. Guess the umpire's out. Warner's delivery. Came across for strike 2. Warner fights back to get even. Here's Warner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Third out of the inning. Sallisaw Black Diamonds 3. The Cougars are 12. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th. All right, we are back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Leading off this inning, number 4, Johnny Velasquez. All right, for the Black Diamonds in this particular game, it's now or never. Well, trailing by 9. First pitch. Called strike. There's the follow-up. Called strike again. There's a pitch hit to right field. It is going to drop. Well, I thought it would. It did not. Caught for out number 1. Number 7, Luke Pack. So now the Diamonds are back to the top of their order. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. For the first time this season, trailing by 9. Pitch called strike one. Swing and a miss for strike two. There's the pitch. Hit down the first field base line. It is fair. Goes all the way to the fence. And they're going to hold him up at second base. Number 17, Easton Wolf. So Luke Pack gets a hit, gets a double. Next up is Easton Wolf. The Black Diamonds have been able to come back from behind. They have not trailed this many points all season, but they've been able to put the pressure on and come back. See if they can do that in the bottom of the seventh. Chase Pack back to second base. Here's the first pitch for strike one. There's the pitch. Second pitch. Ball one. There's the delivery of number 3. Low and ball 2. Easton goes ahead in the count. 2-1. 1 out. There's the pitch. There's the hit. It's going to center. I think it's going to fall. It does fall. Runner advances to third. The throw to home, and they'll hold him. Runners now at first and third. Number 2, Ryland Eagle. Black Diamonds have a runner at first, a runner at third. Ryland Eagles up. There's only 1 out. And we got Dagan Grizzle on deck. They really need Ryland to get a base hit to bring home Luke Pack and put 2 on base for Dagan Grizzle to have a chance to bring him home. First pitch is a ball 1. Second pitch, inside for ball 2. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound for the Cougars. The coach waved off the infield, so it's apparently going to be a long visit. Probably talking to the pitcher about throwing balls because he's thrown quite a few this inning. I know the Cougars would like to hand the Black Diamonds their first loss of the season, as any team would like to be in that position. They're going to do what they can to not give them a chance to climb back into this game. Black Diamonds multiple times have scored more than 9 in a single inning, so it's not impossible for them to be able to score 10 in the bottom of the 7th. Two and 0. Here's the delivery. 3-0. 2-1. That was strike. I misspoke as I often do. Now we've got 2-1 to Ryland Eagle. There's the pitch. He hits it to the second baseman. Second baseman's out. First baseman is safe. Brings home Luke Pack. 2 outs. Number 11, Dagon Grizzle. So the Black Diamonds avoid the double play to bring it into the game. Score Luke Pack. And Ryland Eagle gets on base. Now at the plate, Dagon Grizzle. There's the pitch. Low and outside for ball 1. They have walked Dagon multiple times in this game. And I believe, if my memory is correct, he pop flied out once. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. There's the delivery. Low for ball 2. Count to Dagon is 2-1. Sure, Dagon's itching to get a hold of a good pitch. Here's the delivery. Inside and high for ball 3. Dagon's definitely going to make him pitch to him. He's trying to find the one that he wants if the pitcher's going to give it to him. There's a delivery. Went in for strike 2. It's full count. Dagon's got to really keep an eye on this and not chase. There's the pitch. Fouled behind home plate. The count remains full. Two outs, full count to Dagon. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's going to be ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Black Diamonds have their first loss on the season to the North Rock Creek Cougars. If you'll stick around on the live stream, we are going to live stream senior night. That's the end of the ball game, but if you're a Sallisaw Black Diamonds fan, this is senior night. Stick around. We will have senior night momentarily. We'll be right back when they get lined up and ready to go for senior night. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still with us, we are getting ready to honor the 4 seniors of the baseball team. We have Morgan Duke, Ryland Eagle, Matthew McGrew, and Luke Pack that we'll be honoring tonight. In that order. Now, once Coach gives me the signal, we will begin the ceremonies and festivities. Waiting on all the families to get out on the field with the seniors. It was an off night for the Black Diamonds, but it was not a district game, and it is their first loss of the season. And I'm sure they'll shake it off and be right back to business on Monday night. We have a Monday night and a Friday night game next week here at home, if you'll join us for those. And coming up shortly, we have Sallisaw Black Diamonds Senior Night, celebrating the 4 seniors on the Black Diamonds baseball team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Sallisaw Black Diamonds Senior Night 2026. We'll be honoring our 4 senior Black Diamonds this evening. We're so proud of them and all they have accomplished throughout their high school careers. Our first senior is Morgan Duke. Morgan is the son of Myrna and Matthew Duke and the grandson of late Victor and Dora Rojas and Jimmy, the late Dow Duke. Morgan has played baseball for the last 2 years, wrestled all 4 years of high school. Morgan qualified for state all 4 years as a wrestler and placed third his junior year. Morgan's most memorable baseball moment was playing in a pool every night during the spring break trip to Broken Bow. The thing Morgan will miss most about baseball is playing hacky sack pregame and everyone joking around with each other. Morgan's advice to the underclassmen is, always show up even when you don't want to and enjoy every moment because it's over before you know it. Morgan's future plans are to enjoy his last summer with his friends before he goes to college to wrestle and further his education. This is senior Morgan Duke. Our next senior is Ryland Eagle. Ryland is the son of Robert and Melissa Eagle, and the grandson of Michael and the late Melinda Benham, and former Deputy Chief James Garland Eagle and Abby Eagle. Ryland played 1 year of football for Tahlequah, wrestled 1 year for Sallisaw, and 4 years of baseball, 2 for Tahlequah, and the last 2 seasons for the Black Diamonds. Ryland was a 5A4 All-District first baseman, with state appearances in 2024 and 2025. A 4A district utility player, the Sallisaw Utility Player of the Year his junior year, and Ryland is also the National Honor Society. Ryland's most memorable games were the playoff games because he says, the environment was nothing like I had ever experienced. Ryland will miss playing hacky sack with the guys, and joking around with Coach Lamb. Ryland's advice to underclassmen is to show up every day, enjoy every moment with the team before it's gone. Ryland's future plans include spending the summer on the lake, helping his dad, and attending OSUIT in the fall to pursue a degree in electrical construction. This is senior Ryland Eagle. Our next senior is Matthew McGrew. Matthew is the son of Justin and Michelle McGrew and the grandson of Carl and Margie McGrew. Matthew is a football and powerlifting and baseball letterman. He is a three-time powerlifting state qualifier. In 2020, junior high state powerlifting MVP. In 2020, also junior high state powerlifting outstanding deadlifter. In 2022, third place state powerlifter. And in 2023, powerlifting state champion. He played on the 2018 Sallisaw Black Diamonds and the 2021 Sallisaw Drillers State Championship baseball teams. Two-time Masonic Student of Today, 2022 Trail of Tears Award of Excellent recipient, 2024 Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Ambassador, and 2026 Hobby Academic All-Star. Elected as the state senator at the 2025 Oklahoma American Legion Boys State, received 2025 Sallisaw Football James E. Schreiber and Blue Collar Awards. Sallisaw High School Class of 2026 Distinguished Honor Graduate. He is a member of Oklahoma Indian Student Honor Society, American Indian Science and Engineering Society, National Honor Society, Native American Club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Matthew has entered for the Cherokee National Summer Youth Career Pathway for 3 years, and he has volunteered for the Sallisaw Lions Club Rodeo, Sallisaw Main Street, as well as the Wreaths Across America program for the past 5 years, while raising money to help sponsor the American Legion Post 15 to provide wreaths to honor the legacy of veterans. Matthew's most memorable baseball moment was winning the Super Regional title last year to advance to the state after finishing runner-up for several years before. Matthew will miss his teammates and coaches that he's played with throughout his baseball career the most. Matthew has been selected to be part of the 2026 Oklahoma State University Spears Business LLP and plans to pursue a degree in business and accounting after high school. This is senior Matthew McGrew. Our final senior this evening is Luke Pack. Luke is the son of Mandy and Brad Pack and the grandson of Linda Creekmore and Larry and Jacqueline Pack. Luke has played baseball for 4 years, has been a member of the National Honor Society for 3 years, and is a 2-year 4A 8 All-District First-Team infielder. He was the 2023 and 2024 Defensive Player of the Year for the Black Diamonds and the 2024-2025 Offensive Player of the Year. Luke's favorite baseball moment was beating Cushing to make it to state and jumping onto the dog pile when the team's celebration. Luke says, "I will miss being around the team every day. This is what is most important to me, and obviously having my dad as my coach." Luke's advice to underclassmen is, celebrate your teammates. Their successes is your successes. This is how you build the chemistry like we have right now. Luke's future plans are to attend Northeastern State University to become an optometrist. This is senior Luke. This concludes our senior recognitions for the class of 2026. Players and family, there's food and dessert at the concession stand. Please take time to come eat with us and celebrate these seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, your senior class of the Sallisaw Black Diamond Baseball.
Hey, my name's Luke Pack. I'm number 7, and I've been on Sallisaw baseball for 4 years.
Luke, what is your favorite memory in baseball?
Probably last year when we beat Cushing to go to the state tournament and the dog pile. It's a good memory.
What's your proudest accomplishment?
Probably my sophomore year, stealing 55 bags, being leading the state for a long time. That's probably my best accomplishment.
Funniest team moment?
Funniest team moment. I don't really think there's one I can pick from. I think just the whole environment with the coaches, laughing with us a lot, making a lot of jokes. We have a lot of funny moments every day. It's hard to just pick one.
Post-graduation goals?
Probably just further my education, probably head over to NSU and just hit the books and get after it there.
What is a pregame song you like to listen to before games?
I'm not a big music guy, honestly. Just whatever's on, whatever they're playing on the bus. Normally they have a big speaker going, so I just kind of go with the flow, whatever they're playing on the bus.
Any pregame rituals?
Not really, unless I just go down and get stretching early, just normal stretches.
Advice to underclassmen?
just celebrate your teammate's success. Build chemistry. That's how you get to where we are right now. You just gotta have good chemistry with the team.
My name is Morgan Duke. I've played high school baseball for 2 years. I'm number 24 and I play right field.
What's your favorite baseball memory?
I have to say playing pool every night with everybody at Broken Bow.
What's been your proudest accomplishment?
Us being the only undefeated team in Oklahoma right now.
What's your funniest team moment?
That's hard to pick from. There's never like a dull moment with everybody.
And what are your post-graduation goals?
I'm going to go wrestle in college and further my education.
I'm Matthew McGrew, 21. I've been in the program for 4 years and I play center field.
What is your favorite baseball memory?
Favorite baseball memory would be last year watching Case Adams hit the ball past third base to get us a Super Regionals title and go to state for the third time in school history.
What is your proudest baseball accomplishment?
Proudest baseball accomplishment would be winning state with the Sallisaw Black Diamonds Little League team back in 2018.
What is the funnest team moment?
Funnest team moment would probably again be winning the Super Regional title last year. It was a really big deal for us, really big for the program. We finished runner-up a lot of years before that, and just finally being able to make it past that point was something special.
Who is an impactful coach or mentor?
Impactful coach, obviously Coach Warchow, Coach Lamb. I've been with them since before middle school. I've known them, I've been around them for a long time. They've been with me, seen me grow up and grow into the player that I am today.
What are your post-graduation goals?
Post-graduation, I want to go on to OSU and get a master's degree for accounting.
What does your athletic future look like?
My athletic future, this is it. I'll be finishing my season out and that'll be where I stop.
What is your pregame ritual?
Pre-game ritual is usually just spending a whole lot of time with the team. We go through our usual warm-ups with starting the cage, and then we'll transition outside and do our stretches, play a little bit of hacky sack with some of the other ball members. It's pretty fun, pretty relaxed, pretty loose. We just get ready to play. We get that mentality going.
What is your advice for underclassmen?
Advice for underclassmen, the game's fun, but don't treat it like a joke. You always got to practice hard, play hard, because you don't know when you're going to get your opportunity to shine.
To start, can I get your name?
Rylan Eagle.
How about your jersey number and position?
I wear number 2, and I play right field, first base, and I'm a pitcher.
Is number 2 like your lucky number?
It's what I wore at Tahlequah before I came here, and I just went back for it as my senior year. I don't know. I just kind of wanted a smaller number.
Cool. How many years have you been in the program?
I've played here for 2 years at Sallisaw, but I started at Tahlequah as well.
Anybody come out to your games and support you?
My mom and dad, usually one of them at least at every game. Sometimes my sister, but every once in a while I have family come out. Like at Pryor this year, 2 of my family members came out and watched me pitch, so that was pretty cool to see them there.
Yeah, what about your proudest accomplishment?
Probably going to state multiple years. My sophomore year I went to state at Tahlequah, and then junior year at Tahlequah, or at Sallisaw we went to state, and then we're making a pretty good run this year, so I'm pretty confident in our team this year to go back.
Yeah, how about any funniest team moments or?
Probably hacky sack before games. That gets pretty heated. I feel like more guys take that more serious in the game sometimes, but that's pretty fun. And then all the coaches are pretty fun to be around. They're just always laughing and joking around. So I feel like we don't take it as serious as we should at sometimes, but overall it's all a good time when we're together.
Yeah. Is that a pregame ritual?
Honestly, we just play it just to pass the time, so we're not just sitting around. But it's kind of like we just play. Like if you ever watch, there's guys playing in between innings. If you ever watch the dugout, so the guys take it pretty serious around the dugout.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you have like a walk-up song? Like, what's your go-to?
I do. I forgot what it's called, but I don't really. When I go up to bat, I don't really listen to anything. Like I'm locked in, so I don't really hear around sounds. I'm just kind of focused on what I'm up there to do and paying attention to the game.
Okay, last question. Do you have like, who's your mentor? Like,
my dad. I'd probably say my dad. He pushes me pretty hard. Not very many people see it from him because he's very quiet. But texting me and talking to me, calling me, like giving me tips and stuff, just to really pushing me and wants me to go further, like take it further past high school and go play. And I feel like he would probably be my mentor and my biggest supporter probably as well.